Okay, I don't know if this is working. I don't know if you can hear me, but first time I've ever live streamed from Oculus, from AltSpace into Facebook. So hopefully you can see this. This is crazy awesome. Cheddars has done a great job designing this world, this campus for Cornerstone. We're starting our grand opening. Actually, is this Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. We'll be in here. Actually, I think at 12:30. I believe there's a kind of like a fun sort of scavenger hunt. Everybody's welcome. There'll be some prizes, stuff like that. Then at 1 o'clock will be the service at our new campus. So please, if you're interested, come and join us. Just gonna give you a little quick tour here. He just put some Cheddar's just put some water in here. This is just amazing, and you can hear the sounds, the birds, the water. This is part of the Stations of the Cross journey. I just went on it, had a nice little quiet time here on the path. This is the final ending of the Stations of the Cross, of course, the resurrection. You can go into the empty tomb, and it's pretty meaningful, pretty moving. I've always enjoyed the Stations of the Cross for my spiritual formation and just growth. It's definitely a Protestant version of it, but just to come in here quietly um, in the midst of a busy day and just sit in here is just amazing. Just to think about our resurrected Christ, and of course the ascension depicted there. There's a prayer labyrinth that I've used many times in the past, and here, of course, in VR, and with the obsidian stone just representing the rock Christ, and it's again Protestant version of it, but just basically a way to kind of focus yourself as you prayer walk around this circle into the middle. And here is the I guess Cheddar's put a moat in here between the main campus and then across the way you're going to see eventually we're going to have a bunch of teaching. I think they were working on it. They must have cleared out, and then they're going to put some stuff in there based on the sermon series and text, kind of like what Pastor DJ Soto does at VR Church, and sort of some interactive teaching so people can get a better grasp of what the Scripture um, is speaking about. So maybe you're in a text that describes some very detailed information about the temple or the tabernacle, what have you, and you can actually do a real life example there people can walk through. This here is awesome, right? You can go down here. This is a place where baptisms can be held. I know that's controversial, but happy to talk with you charitably about your views on that. Um, this is the, of course, campfire. We actually had a Christmas Eve service out here. Had a ton of people, and we actually covered Cheddar's and his team covered the entire world. I think Delcine helped with snow, and all the trees were snow, and there was like uh, Christmas ornaments. And Eric White, our director of worship, did worship up here. It was awesome. It was a really great time. That's where over there you can see where the Stations of the Cross journey goes. That building back there, that's not done yet, so that's just kind of in its where that's a placeholder for what's going to be our biblical counseling center. At some point, we're going to have another place would be like a kingdom museum to kind of give a broad overview, visually, pictorially, of the scriptures and the themes of the scriptures, especially about the kingdom. And you'll be able to kind of walk through the kingdom museum, see the sort of like Stations of the Cross, different symbols that represent it, but eventually be able to kind of teleport into different worlds where you can actually experience some of the biblical understandings of the kingdom throughout the from the garden all the way to the new heavens, new earth. This here, because I love the Chronicles of Narnia, as many people do. Look at that detail. Cheddar's is awesome. But anyway, this is a prayer closet, or a prayer wardrobe, and you can walk in there and actually it'll teleport you to a private prayer world, and people can do that in alone, or they can go with a friend and pray. I'm just going to teleport. This is the building, the main sanctuary. We took the roof off. We just like being open up to the sky. People will spawn here. There'll be a little coffee bar here that you can actually purchase real coffee. The goal is that you can purchase some things that can be you can be we'll send it to you obviously in real life. Whatever you purchase, maybe it's a sweatshirt, Cornerstone stuff, maybe it's some coffee that we'll send to you. And then the goal is to be able to the revenue there can go back into the ministries. And I know Seraph had a great idea about purchasing coffee, fair trade type stuff that can go back into missions and stuff like that. So pretty cool. And we hope that that coffee little area um, will teleport into a actual VR coffee shop world where we can, like a Christian coffee shop, and do like open mic nights, stuff like that. And I know Melly's working on that. Pretty awesome. So this is the way our church looks in real life. To some degree, obviously, we don't have all this beauty around us like this. Although you can see the Sutter Buttes, which I think are beautiful in Yuba City, and in the distance you can actually see the Sierra Nevada mountains. So that's pretty cool too. So this is we have 3 doors in our in real life. This is basically almost, Cheddar's did amazing. It looks almost exactly like Cornerstone in Yuba City. And so those of you that are actually in real life or live stream digital campus folks, you will definitely recognize this. So you walk in here. We're still going to put some lighting in here, I think. This is our little kind of fellowship coffee area. We don't have the furniture in here yet, but you can see where the room is. There's also, actually, the coffee area might end up being here in VR. I can't remember. And that's our little welcome desk, and we'll put some signage up. You can obviously see the sanctuary is laid out like this. We normally have an AV booth here. Don't need it in VR. It's all built in. The exact windows, exact rafters, exact lighting. It's a VR version of it, but pretty cool. We even have a stained glass cross just like that. There'll be a big screen that will be in the back area. Stairs are just like this. You can actually sit in these chairs. So you actually, in the VR, you kind of move down so people can see, people behind you can see. There's even clocks there. I don't know if those clocks are functioning. I'll have to ask Cheddars. I don't pay attention to them when I preach in real life, and so I won't pay attention to them in VR either. Just one of those hazards of being a preacher. We don't like to pay attention to time when we're going at it. So this, sanctuary, pretty cool. And then back here, this is this was our old library. We're going to turn it into a music recording studio. And then this room back here is the worship room that they store all their stuff in. And of course, out here you can see this is our back area. Let's see, what's this room? That one, no, it goes out to the outside. This room used to be the old youth room. It's now the Route 56 5th and 6th grade youth group, which is going really well. They meet back here, and we don't have any of the furnishings up yet in VR, but someday we will. This is one of our teaching rooms. And then this room this is the new youth room, and they painted it, done some pretty cool stuff. And we're going to have a gaming room. We got a couple computers. We're going to add some more for gaming, Bible studies, stuff like that. These, in our real life church, you walk in this way, you go to the women's bathroom, here's the men's, and here's the family bathroom. And as you might imagine, in VR, there's no need for bathrooms. So we basically turn it into one big room. So pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty awesome. It's if you're into VR, you can actually do it in 2D as well, 2D applications for free. But if you do have a VR headset, I definitely encourage you to. I'm going to go in the water. I can talk. Oh, I'm not going down. I'm walking on water. This is crazy. Oh, now I'm going. I'm talking underwater. Amazing. So you can get your VR headset, download the AltSpace VR app, and this is a free world. Just come on in. You can hang out here as much as you want, any time of the day you want. If you want a peaceful place to come and pray, come and read your scriptures, and just spend time with God. Virtual reality is a type of reality. It's obviously not the physical reality. But God is creative, and He created our reality that we have known for thousands of years. And in some sense, that also is a type of virtual reality in the sense that it is something created. It is something constructed by the ultimate true reality, which is God, the Trinity. And so we have our beings, we move, we breathe, we have our existence ultimately as a direct connection to Him. And so everyone lives in a type of virtual reality. This is a reality where actually souls can come together, just not in the flesh, but definitely I've had more conversations about Jesus Christ in the VR world than probably maybe I've had in a long, long time in real life. And I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if it's because people come in here and feel a little bit safer, maybe a little bit more anonymous. But ultimately, you actually become less anonymous here, because your avatar name, your avatar begins to define you. People get to know you for who you are here, and as you learn about them in real life. So I know a lot about the real lives of all the people that come to church here. In fact, someday I'd love to, after COVID, love to go visit a lot of them if I'm able to, travel and see everybody in real life. But I've had so many conversations that are, I think, because of the anonymity, people will open up more quickly than they do perhaps in real life. Maybe in real life, there's just so many barriers to overcome, psychological things that we all struggle with: fear of man, anxiety, social anxieties. A lot of people come in VR and they do struggle sometimes, as I have throughout my life, with social anxieties. And VR can be a place to kind of grease the skids of human interaction, if you will. And by no means do I feel like virtual reality is the ultimate replacement for physical reality in church. I'm not. I don't particularly subscribe to that view, but so I do normally recommend folks to find a healthy church in their area that they can physically attend as well. Although sometimes that's not possible. Got a brother who became a Christian here in VR. We baptized him here, and I do recommend getting physical baptized as well, in literal water. Although there's nothing magical about the water, Scripture teaches, but it's a representation of what Christ has done internally in you spiritually, and so it's a visual uh, proclamation, testimony to others who watch. And of course, there were tons of people that watched his baptism. He lives in Estonia, the former Soviet Union, or was a part of that, a Soviet bloc. And there's really not a lot of gospel, biblical, Jesus-centered churches for him to get to. We have some people who are actually shut in because of physical conditions, that they literally cannot get out of their house. Of course, COVID really put that, just turned on the afterburners for everyone, especially those folks, in terms of being able to even get out at all. And so VR Church has become really an oasis for fellowship and community. You can't get this from the 2D perspective. If you're watching 2D, it doesn't compute. Like, it looks like, it is a cartoon. That's where this particular art form in alt space, although there's different types of art forms and the different platforms. Some are more photorealistic, some are more cartoonish. It just depends on the platform and the art form that you choose. So it looks kind of cartoonish here, and it doesn't connect with you when you're 2D. But when you're 3D, because of the space, your mind gets tricked by the way that VR works, and the spatial realism of it all, and the audio that is spatially located. So that's why when you do a live stream, you don't have any interaction really, except for maybe textual on the chat, but you're just consuming, like, the old TV ministries is what live stream is like. Nothing wrong with live stream, still awesome, but it doesn't have this human interaction. And even Zoom and other technologies like that, they're 2D, and there's no spatial uh, audio spatial distancing or location. So everything just kind of comes at you at once, all the voices. And there's even some degree of a lack of nonverbals that come out. You can see their faces and you can see their hands, but for whatever reason, something about the way 2D works, it probably had maybe a large part has to do with the audio not being spatially located, and also the lack of depth perception with the movements of people on Zoom. People get a lot of fatigue doing 2D, and they just don't feel like they're truly connecting. In VR, it's hard to explain if you haven't tried it. You actually take on an avatar, so that you're in a world, you're in a body, if you will, and so it allows you to literally move around to express yourself. Right now, the technology is being developed that inner cameras can watch your eye movements, your eyebrows, your facial movements, all the different musculature of the face, so that it can pick that up and represent that onto the avatar and that's a current technology that's being developed. Um, so it doesn't have that great, right now you can't see a lot of the facial movements, although there is some on the avatar. And you can't see me right now. You can just, you're looking through my eyes. But but the hand movements, the interaction, and of course the voice. And I can, like, when I talk about audio spatial location, let's say Susie's sitting here, I can literally come up to Susie and it gets louder, as just like in real life, as you get closer to her as we talk. So she and I could be talking while there's five other people way over here across the way, who we really can't hear or hear very faintly, just like you would in a large social setting, just like a church. So it's not like everyone at once has this cacophonous noise. That will happen in 2D, but not in 3D virtual reality. So it has basically a lot of the elements of what real life social interactions are like. And so that's why it's so robust and rich. And, I formed some really close friendships in here. So I did not think that that would happen when I first got into VR a year ago, or a little bit less. I did not expect it to be this compelling and amazing. Does technology have downsides, dark sides? Absolutely. But does technology have good sides and upsides? Well, absolutely. And the church has historically always eventually come around to the technologies that God has sovereignly allowed, and they've used them in redeemable ways for great gospel purposes. And so that's ultimately what we're doing here with VR. But it's pretty awesome. I'm so excited. We're going to start off we're going to do a grand opening of our campus this Sunday, 1:00 p.m. Pacific. So join us in VR and in 2D if you can as well. And 12:30 will be like a scavenger hunt for fun that Mr. Pete put together for us. Thank you, Mr. Pete. And look forward to seeing you. God bless you guys.